out there. Complicated world we share, working with no guarantees. I believe that what we need is great faith, great faith. Let us love, let us live each day with great faith, great faith. Sometimes we are slow to trust, wisdom hidden deep in us. Fear of failure keeps us down. What we all could use right now is great faith, great faith. Let us love, let us live each day in great faith, great faith. Someday we can all look back at turning points along our path. That's when we will point with pride to every good choice, guided by great faith, great faith. Let us love, let us live each day with faith, great faith, great faith, great faith.
Thank you. What a beautiful song. And here we are with our brave faith. And I'd like to welcome you all here to Unity of Hagerstown on this beautiful Sunday morning. We are very, very grateful that you are here to share this time in fellowship with us. We'd also like to welcome our friends that are on Facebook with us. And we'd also like to welcome all you humans and our canine friends as well. So we will come together now and enter into our space. Breathe in as we open with an opening prayer and open this sacred circle. So as we take a nice deep breath, as we move our awareness into our heart space, we breathe in gently and open ourselves. We settle in and we expand, remembering who we are always. We are loved. Breathe in gently and allow your senses to open as we become willing, ready to receive that which our heart needs to know. Here in this holy moment, in this sacred space, with gratitude, we affirm what we know to be true. All is in divine order. All is well. And so it is. And let us begin. And if you would join me, the words here together as we affirm our mission statement. Unity of Hagerstown,
a welcoming community, embrace spiritual awakening through affirmative prayer and meditation, creating a positive path of abundant living for all.
And now Jeff will share with us the daily word.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Today's daily word for Sunday, August 11th is prosperity. It often has been said, you can't take it with you. While it is true that money and material possessions must be left behind when I transition from this life, these things are not the source of my prosperity. My true wealth lies in my consciousness, my ability to give and receive love, to share what I have and receive from others with equal joy, understand and use the creative power of thought, and to know myself and all people as living expressions of the divine. I live consciously and abundantly, making wise use of the earth's resources and drawing upon the limitless storehouse of divine ideas. Through the power of God within me, I enrich my life, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. The scripture for today is from Matthew chapter 6, verse 20. But store up for yourselves treasures in heaven, where neither moth nor rust consumes, and where thieves do not break in and steal. Now please recite with me the affirmation that's on the screen in front of you. I live an abundant life. Now please take a moment just to let that sink into your heart space and think about what that means for you. And one more time, if you would all please recite with me again. I live an abundant life. Thank you.
Thank you, Jeff. So now is our time. We came together in prayer to open. Now we can come together physically to welcome each other, to greet our neighbors, to say good morning. It's a short time, so we can offer a hug, a handshake, a namaste. Just communicate that with one another, what it is you're comfortable with. We'll have time after service where we can really have more fellowship. So get up and greet your neighbor.
Hello, Facebook friends. It's great to see you, sort of. Glad you're here. I forget if you're a husband or not. Hello, how are you?
down here, and I'd like to welcome our Facebook friends once more because I neglected to do so during our meet and greet. So sorry about that. Anyway, we're continuing with our series for the month of August of Badass Women of the Bible. But it occurred to me that it could also be named or called the unnamed of the Bible, because I found another story of a woman whose name is not recorded. Last week we looked at the woman at the well, whose name was not recorded. And this week we're going to look at the story in Mark 5 of a woman who had suffered from hemorrhaging for 12 years. No name. Despite seeking help from the medical community and spending all of her resources on trying to get better, she found no relief. But she heard about Jesus. She heard about Jesus and his healing ministry, and something within her just knew she had to go see this wonderful healer. So at the time, she would have been considered unclean and kept apart from society. So for her to brave the crowd and go see Jesus in the hopes of being healed would have certainly been a brave act. But she did it. She reached out and touched the hem of his garment and was immediately healed. Jesus felt something. I don't know what he felt, whether a transmission of power, maybe he felt her energy. I don't know what it was that he felt. But he asked the question, who touched me? And his disciples were like, oh, there's so many people around here. Of course, people are pressing in upon you and everyone's touching you at this point. He goes, no, who touched me? And the woman was afraid. But she came forward and said, although she was trembling, I did. I touched you. And Jesus, of course, acknowledged her faith and told her that her faith had healed her and to go forward, go in peace, be well, be whole. So as I said, this woman had been seen as unclean by society, and like the woman last week, without a recorded name, but just a gentle reminder that even though our names may not be remembered, our impact on other people can linger for a very long time, right? These two women from thousands of years ago, without a recorded name, have impacted all of Christianity. Think of the millions of people who know of their story. So we like to look at things metaphysically here in Unity, in which the characters of the story are symbolic of our own states of consciousness within. The woman, typically a female, represents the soul nature that everybody has. This is a story for everybody. And the bleeding can represent within each of us a continuous loss of life force or energy, perhaps from a personal issue, not a physical ailment, but something that hasn't healed yet, that we've been carrying around for way too long, draining our vitality, resisting resolution despite multiple attempts to heal it, to process it, something that we haven't sufficiently processed enough, unearthed enough for us to look at, perhaps. Yet this woman had such determination and courage that she risked going out in public, like I said, where she would have been, I don't know what the consequences would have been, maybe stoned to death, who knows, in order to follow her intuition. And so I picture this, and picture this along with me. She's probably got a cloak on, kind of hiding her face, making her way so she gets there unobserved, and just trying to get through the crowd to get close enough to Jesus. It's really showing the transformative power of faith that we have, also of intuition, following our intuition, and also a certain amount of conviction. She knew if she got there, she would be healed, right? When we open our awareness and trust our inner guidance, we can manifest a wholeness in our lives as well. Jesus metaphysically represents the Christ consciousness within each of us, that I am, the power of I am you just sang about. Or you call it Buddha nature, you call it spirit within. I don't care what you call it, but it is that presence that we are that is more than our human expression. It is our spirit, our spiritual self, our true self, the true essence coming forth. And the 12 disciples represent 12 powers that we've all been given, spiritual powers that we've all been given, that Charles Filmer, our co-founder of Unity, identified that we can activate in our lives through intention and attention. Life, faith, wisdom, release, love. I'm not going to be able to remember them all. Strength, imagination, order, power, understanding. I wasn't counting, but that feels like 12 to me. So these are all here within each of us. Within each of us. So just think about this. Love is the easiest one to probably understand these powers. We can love in our human expression. We can fall in love with somebody, and that love may be obsessive or jealous. We can also love with an expanded awareness in which we recognize that we are one with all of creation. That's more of the higher expression of love, right? So that's the spiritual power that we want to activate. So these powers can be used in our human expression and also as our divine self as well. As is often the case in stories from the Christian Testament, the disciples were not really aware of what was going on. And since they tried to convince Jesus that it was just the crowd pressing in upon him. So sometimes our powers, our spiritual powers, are not really awake to the full extent. Sometimes we forget that we have these powers as well. So this story of healing, of faith, is really a testament to this woman's inner knowledge that her path to wholeness, that in going to the Christ within, going to that altar within, if you will. She was acutely aware of her need to connect with divine source. Despite being drained of resources, dignity, energy, probably, she persevered and courageously acted in a way that went against society. She not only risked being out in the open, but she touched a man's garment. Her actions were unconventional, yet they were essential for her in order to live the life that she envisioned for herself. So there were a couple of bold moves, and I've mentioned them already, but I'd like to repeat them because that's going to bring us into the place where we want to be. First, to brave the crowd, even though she was considered unclean. Second, to touch the clothing of a man. And then, of course, what happened next was Jesus asked, "Who touched me?" And I don't know if he felt how he felt that touch. I don't know how that is really possible, but I guess he's so highly attuned to energy, or he was so highly attuned to energy that he was able to discern that someone had touched with an intention. I also like to think that perhaps Jesus was giving this woman another gift beyond the healing when he asked, "Who touched me?" Was he inviting her to stand up and speak her truth, to proclaim that she was whole? Was he inviting her to acknowledge it right where she was? Once we begin to follow our inner wisdom, we may come to a time in which we need to speak out as well on the truth that we understand, to stand up, to be courageous. It takes strength to do that. And that's one of the gifts that we've been given, one of those 12 powers, spiritual strength. We all have this within us. Now, of course, if not aligned with our higher self, this strength can look very differently. It could look like stubbornness, or it could look like selfishness, or it could even look like bullying. But aligned with our higher self, strength then becomes, as Reverend Linda Martella-Witzek tells us, our capacity to stand undaunted in the midst of shifting circumstances, to act courageously and to stay the course. To stand undaunted, unfazed by what's going on in the world. to be courageous, to persevere. The root of the word courage comes from the Latin word that means heart. It used to mean, a long time ago, to act, to speak from the heart. It's changed now. It's more closely aligned with being heroic, I think. And we need to have heroes. I think that's important. But having lost touch of the idea that speaking honestly about our feelings, about our experience, about who we are, is an act of courage. Especially good and bad experiences, speaking out for them. So heroics is about putting our life on the line, but Brene Brown tells us ordinary courage is about putting our vulnerability on the line. In today's world, that's pretty extraordinary. There was a time when I hid myself from others. I built a wall up so no one could see the real me. I put on a happy face so no one could see within. It just was too hurtful, too embarrassing, I felt, to show what I was going through, what I was feeling. So I didn't speak my truth. And of course, as those words were not able to come forth, I pushed them down. They would come out in inappropriate ways, usually with anger, but I knew on some level that anger was really directed at me for not being brave enough. Slowly, I began to find the courage to not only feel the anger and pain of living with an alcoholic, but also being able to speak of it. For me, it began with just taking one step, having one conversation in which I didn't swallow my feelings, swallow my words, or ignore them. The Enneagram tells us encountering our ego defenses, rage, anxiety, underlying hurt, shame, and grief is never easy. Seeing ourselves as we really are takes courage. Brian McLaren, author, activist, and theologian, tells us, when you dance with doom, doom changes you. But the dance can also change you for the better, leaving you more humble and honest, more thoughtful and creative, more compassionate and courageous, wiser, kinder, deeper, stronger, more connected, more resilient, more free, more human, more alive. So this story found in the Gospel of Mark, of the woman who was bleeding for 12 years, I think of that, and I think certainly her hope might have ebbed and flowed over those 12 years. That's a long time to undergo something. Yet her condition didn't defeat her. It left her stronger, more determined to follow her inner guidance. So whatever you may be facing today, and for however long you've been facing it, do not let it defeat you, but let it change you in a good way. We do this one way through our spiritual practices, which I kind of think of as a form of alchemy. Our spiritual practices change us. Howard Thurman tells us that awareness of being a child of God tends to stabilize the ego and results in a new courage, fearlessness, and power. I have seen it happen again and again. Just being aware of who we are as a spiritual being, having a human experience. So when we go within and touch that Christ consciousness and realize our innate wholeness, we also can gain clarity. Clarity of our purpose, clarity of our next steps, and we get in touch with that power of strength within. Richard Rohr tells us, from my place of prayer, I am able to understand more clearly what is mine to do and have the courage to do it. All the quotes came at the end of this talk. I'm sorry, I don't know. It just happened that way. So, yeah. So aligning with our spiritual nature, we're able to stand firm in the midst of life's storms, remembering who we are, that we are beloved of God, that we are the strength of God, that we are one with the one, that we are whole. And there is within us a source of calm, a source of stability that is always there. Martella Whitset tells us to be stable is to be rooted in or anchored to a firm foundation. The stabilizing power of strength is our capacity to anchor ourselves securely in the truth of our unlimited source of calm, safety, and balance. We can stand strong during times of change. In today's somewhat reactive energy, perhaps it's more important than ever to stand strong, to be in that consciousness of oneness. We are one. We are one with all creation. We are one with our Creator as well. So that we don't fall into defensiveness, that we don't fall into kind of a one-upmanship. To stand firmly in the understanding that we are one spirit, we are one love that connects us. Whether we're faced with conflict in a personal relationship or feeling a nudge to speak out against some injustice that we've witnessed, courage allows us to speak our truth, to do what is ours to do, and one more thing, to listen to others. Courage does not only entail standing and speaking the truth, even when afraid. It also entails sitting and listening without arrogance to someone else speaking the truth. Listening without interrupting. Listening without trying to fix. Listening without trying to figure out what you're going to say. Autobiographical listening. Listening just to listen. Listening from your heart. We have the courage to do what is ours to do. And sometimes that is just to sit and listen to our bodies, to our emotions, to another person, to our hearts. If you're not sure what is yours to do, you're looking for something, you're feeling a nudge to do something, then time spent in silence can certainly help clarify. If you don't think you have the courage to do what is yours to do, time spent in silence can help develop that courage. If you're not in the habit of listening to others, or listening to your body, or listening to your emotions, time spent in the silence can help. If you're afraid of taking that first step, perhaps you know what is yours to do, but you've been holding back. Time spent in the silence can help. So you can think of yourself as strong enough to do what is yours to do. But there's also something about fragility, that being vulnerable, that being open. Sandra Turnbull tells us fragility is not the antithesis of courage. There is enormous strength and power in the softest parts of your heart. In fact, right at the center of the most unguarded part of your spirit is where you will discover a sense of courage more resilient and timeless than you thought possible. Strength, courage, perseverance, this is all given to each of us. It's a spiritual power within us that only needs to be cultivated through our spiritual practices in knowing that this is ours, in knowing that we've been given this gift. You know, we've been celebrating 100 years of the daily word. And so today for our meditation, I wanted to share a daily word from 1959. You know I love those oldies but goodies, right? So before we go into meditation, I invite you to join me in our affirmation. I am strong and courageous. So let's take that and settle ourselves, adjusting our position as necessary. When we relax the body, we're able to calm the mind so that we don't get caught up in that river of thoughts that keep going by. We can focus on that inner strength. I am strong and courageous. And we affirm this not to make it so, but so that we might train our mind to believe it, because it is so. I am strong and courageous. There is that within me that is the strength of God. The Daily Word tells us, life daily offers me opportunity to be strong and courageous. No matter what condition, circumstance, or situation challenges me, I can be courageous. I am courageous. My courage is not a matter of whistling in the dark. I find true courage through prayer. The courage I find is an inexhaustible courage that sings in my heart and is expressed in courageous words, in courageous actions. Life daily offers me opportunity to encourage other people. I share the courage that I gain through prayer with my loved ones, with my friends, with those I contact in my daily experiences. If I am concerned for the welfare of another person, I remember that through prayer, they have access to strength and courage. The courage that I give others to go within, to step forth in strength and courage they find, is greater than any material assistance I might extend, more helpful than any specific advice I might offer. My prayer is to be ever strong and courageous, and to see only strength and courage in others. From Psalms 27:14, be strong and let thy heart take courage. I am strong and courageous. And as we go into a period of silence, I invite you to use that affirmation. Or if it doesn't resonate with you, then use one of your own choosing to realize the strength and the courage within you. I am strong and courageous. In the silence. Every breath I take, I can feel that inner power of strength grow. My awareness of it grows. My determination to step out in courage, to listen in courage, to speak courageously. As we bring this time of meditation to a close, I invite you to continue sitting restfully as Greg and Patty share another song with us.
There is one love. There is one power. There is one life eternal. God lives through me. I am that love. I am that power. I am that life eternal. God lives through me. There is one love. There is one power. There is one life eternal. God lives through me. I am that love. I am that power. I am that life eternal. God lives through me. God lives through me. God lives through me.
Can we see what this woman wants that keeps trying to get? She's been at the door in the back.
She's going at the wrong door. She's going on the wrong side.
Yeah, well, she was out front, and it was like she stood at the door forever. So you can figure out what's going on with her.
Head of security.
She's trying to come in. We're letting her in. I think because one side of the door is locked and the other side is open, she's going to the wrong door. I didn't see her out.
I didn't either.
Oh, well. Okay. So if you will join me in our prosperity affirmation together. Prosperity flows freely through our church, nourishing our ministry while enriching the lives we touch. We are grateful stewards of all that is given, using it wisely to create a legacy of love and service. And during our offertory, we'll have another song.
I give because I believe in love. Yes, I give because I believe in love. Well, I give because I believe in love, and love is given to me and joy. And I give because I believe in joy. Yes, I give because I believe in joy. Yes, I give because I believe in joy, and joy is given to me and truth. Well, I give because I believe in truth. Yes, I give because I believe in truth. Well, I give because I believe in truth.
I realized that on the sign-up sheet, I've gotten confused with the dates for the dinner discussion, and I'm just gonna say that's a result from taking my weeks off, okay? So the date is actually the 21st, but on the sign-up sheet, it was the 14th. So I'm gonna pass this around again. If you signed up and can still make it the 21st, then just put a check next to your door, your name. If you couldn't have made the 14th, but you want to come and sign, then just sign up, okay? So, was that clear? Okay, very good. And then, Men of Unity meeting, Thursday, 6 p.m., open to all men. And Saturdays, we're having our walk and talk. You know, with cooler weather, it's quite enjoyable to take a hike with friends, right? We don't go far, we don't go fast, but we do talk. And then I just want to give you a preview for upcoming in September. We're going to have 2 yoga classes. One's going to be the more traditional yoga class, and the other one is going to be chair yoga. Different times, different days. We'll have the World Day of Prayer, which is a unity event. We'll have a prayer service here, and also an invitation to join others around the world for a service via Zoom that Unity Headquarters is putting on. And then we're also having a workshop on the 4 energy gates, which I'm not familiar with, but it's a way of balancing through Qigong, I believe. And that will be, we have flyers for these. There's a lot more going on in September. Just wanted to let you know that we have wonderful things coming up, okay? And be looking in the newsletter for the September events listing. There will be a PDF attached to that you can download, okay? Okay. Another song. Oh, before we go, introduction to this song. So I heard this song in my travels in July, and I fell in love with it, and I wanted to do this with a blessing in our hearts to all the children going back to school, a blessing in our hearts for our own inner child as well. You know, so this, I hope you love this song as much as I do.
Strong, gentle children, God made you beautiful, gave you the wisdom and power you need. Speak in the stillness all you are longing for. Live on your calling to love and to lead. Strong, hurting children, angry and terrified, fear not the secrets your life has concealed. Through you are wounded, know you are not to blame. Cry out your story till truth is revealed. Strong, knowing children, utter your cry aloud. Will learn the wisdom God gave you at birth. Speak to your elders till they have heard your voice. Sing out your versions down healing on earth. Let's see the first verse. Strong, gentle children, God made you beautiful, gave you the wisdom and power you need. Speak in the stillness all you are longing for. Live out your calling to love and to lead.
Thank you. And aren't we blessed to have musicians that are willing to learn new songs? I'm like, oh, can you play this, please? So we just send that blessing out to all the children returning back to school. And we'll be singing this song for a few more weeks as different schools are starting at different times across the nation. And with that, we're going to say goodbye to our Facebook friends. We love you. We see the light that you are. We thank you for being part of this community. Namaste, my friends.